Hi, are you leaving your job or you feel like leaving your job because you do not get along with your boss? If that is so, right now, please work out that first before moving on to another job. As you might have been aware of, many bosses are not the kind that you are looking for. People quit their bosses, okay, but how many times would you quit your job just because you don't like your boss, but you like the company, you like the work, you like the setup, you can make the most of it if your boss allows it. If that is the condition, then I would say, of course, we can differ in our opinions about whether to leave the job or start working out as to how to handle the boss. I'll tell, I concede here that sometimes I get irritated with the boss. Simply don't like the tone of his voice when he speaks to me to do something which he has told. I do not agree when he says, what about that thing which we need to follow up and all. So, why I get irritated, and you must also be getting irritated because of the tone. You know, um, uh, over a period of time, I'm able to kind of counter the way he behaves. The first thing I got to learn was he behaves the same way his earlier boss was behaving. So he can't help that. I tried asking question what about the job that he had beforehand. He doesn't remember things like that. Most of the boss don't. So can you blame them and waste your time about that? I don't think that is advisable. But what do you do in that case? How I do, I can share with you. First thing is why I'm doing whatever I am doing. Do I want to leave the job, not being able to do my job? That is why. Anybody who is relieving me in this job should not uh, think that I was not up to the mark in this job. I want them to remember that I was able to do 80% of the job if at all I decide to leave this job. First of all, I don't leave job because I um, couldn't handle the boss. I am not working only with the boss. I am working with a team. We have a bigger vision in our setup, and the boss is part of it. He has a certain way of dealing or looking at things. We all have. Why to give him that importance uh, when it comes to leaving the job? He cannot be the only reason why you are leaving the job. That is what my take is. Why I'm saying this is you need to grow up as a person in the job. That is what is required in any kind of job that you are in. The other person is a person who might be in competition for you or competition with you. I remember none of my bosses wanted to leave me. If that sounds like boasting, then I apologize. I didn't mean it to be boasting. I think when you are doing a job reasonably well, the boss is proud of you and they don't want to leave you. The system in the organization should be so that it should automatically be taking care of your appraisal process. The only appraisal that the boss does is um, the kind of relationship he or she has with you, and that can be handled. The way I handle is to to list out first whatever he says. The moment he says something, I list it down. He sees that, and then what I do is I assign a date for it when I am going to do. I ask him how soon he wants to get that job done, and he will give me some time, or he would say he needs that immediately, urgently. Then I put a thank you. Who is it here? I can't see. So then I put a date to that particular job. If he says it is urgently required, what I do is I ask his permission to postpone all other things that is going on that time and take that as priority. So you allow your boss to be the boss. You don't decide things that you can decide, but you don't know his mind. When he is trying to, he might have certain things he doesn't want to share with you, and how do you care? Why do you care where he is going to use whatever you are doing? So I think that you allow that kind of uh, um, perception to him, that you are very mindful of his requirement. Very essential for any human being, let alone be the boss. And if the boss, you don't have a direct connection, you are not able to make a connection with him, it is best to uh, give him the impression that you are paying heed to whatever he is saying. It is anyways your job to pay heed to whatever he says, but you can give it a different kind of meaning as per your perception. For me, it is to allocate the time so that I don't get disturbed while I'm doing something meaningful. That is my intention. I always tell him, while I'm doing this, please do not disturb me unless I ask you a question. And because of his nature, he is going to disturb me in 1 or 2 days, so I keep questions ready to ask him before he asks me anything. So he knows that I am very seriously doing something, that he has given me a task, and I am abiding by his timeline only. So he doesn't have anything to tell me. Do you do you have that audacity to uh, deal your boss that way? Most of us get irritated with the way the bosses deal us, and we don't think beyond that. But if you are a person of maturity, you know how human beings are. If not him, somebody else will, and if not here, somewhere else also. So if you are going to handle bosses of the similar kind, human beings, whenever they have the power to manipulate you, or control you, order you, they will behave the same. You won't like. Do you like to be ordered something? Nobody likes. So it is the same with the boss. So why bother? Rather, you have to have a principle, a mechanism with which to deal with them. You can get, trust me, you can get a lot done with this kind of thing. The first thing, the another thing that I do is I have created a calendar. Have you created your calendar? Calendar is about putting things, whatever you are doing. Suppose you are doing working in 5 areas. Your portfolio is 5 separate kinds of work. So, or collaborations are happening. There are thousands of things that will happen within those 5 areas. It can be simply a letter, a phone call, a meeting, a orientation session, a paper to be written, a visit to some place, taking a class. Things will be like this, or selling maybe. So each of this will be a task, but it will come under your KPI, key performance indicator, or result areas, KRA. So the 5 KRAs you identify, and then all these KPIs will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they will run into say 40, 50, 60. Don't bother about that. But you have to know that those are the KPIs. Unless those are completed, those will not be counted. Do you know any result that is not finished? So results have to be finished, and you have to have that kind of time for yourself to finish. Otherwise, how do you prove what your performance was? So make this discussion with your boss. And trust me, it becomes very funny after some time. You take the charge rather than him being in charge. Of course, he will be known as the boss, but the real driver of everything will be you. So have you learned that? Because it takes care of your mental peace. And if you are not able to do much, not able to deliver much, then it will not happen in the next job also. So before you decide for the next job, please learn how to handle the boss. So there are thousands of theories that I uh, see in the internet, that do not surprise your boss, do not do this, do not do that. Have you read Stephen Covey's the thing which says mm, that when the boss had a very, and I am forgetting the exact thing out of those 7 things, when the boss is not behaving properly, this person what he sees is his strength area. He finds out the strength area of the boss and where he is missing out. So he supports how he can improve. And the boss is not focused on a very mm, uh, productive boss, or a very creative or innovative kind of boss is not focused on how he behaved. He is focused on in getting things done. So if somebody can get over that and help him in progressing, he's all happy. Can you be that person? uh, if you are resonating with this, then please like this video, and also I would highly appreciate if you can put some questions or some comments below this, or well, I like questions very much. And thank you for watching.